All right, let's get the show on the road here. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us again for our weekly storage meetup. We're going to do a couple of AI stuff back to back because when it comes to AI, you can't keep your head in the sand on this kind of stuff. It is coming fast, it's coming furious. So I'm doing everything I can to keep talking about it, bringing people on that are providing services around AI, that are actually implementing it in their storage businesses. So hopefully with this kind of platform, we're going to keep bringing people on to talk about it because it's like I said, it's vitally important. And if you don't start waking up and implementing it, you're going to get passed pretty quick. You're going to be using it, or your competitor down the street's going to be using it. So yeah, get educated. So the fact that I'll commend you all first, hey, you're already on here. So the fact that you're already on here doing these meetups, you're already, trying to educate yourself, and guys on the street, they're not. So kudos for being on here. I really do appreciate it, guys. So we're just gonna jump right into it because we got a lot to get through, and I will be mindful of time. We'll stop here at the top of the hour. So today I got Fraser Robinson, and actually Fraser, he kind of started this off. I don't know, he joined about, I don't know, it was like 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, and just kind of happened to talk about, oh, I got this going on at my facility. Everyone just like jumped on, like, what is this? What are you talking about? Cool, this is awesome. And that's the whole point. I don't want to just talk about having services people on here. I want people that are actually using it in their businesses and the owners. So cool. Thank you for kind of going through this trend. So I appreciate it. And then we got Tyler Harper, Josh Matthew from Patchwork Labs to talk about this service as well. So I'm going to spotlight you three. I'll let you, whoever wants to kind of introduce themselves and kind of get the ball rolling. And we'll just go from there, guys. So this will be fun. Get
Great.
in here and
Nice, Jim.
get you going.
Well, maybe we start from the beginning. So in April of 2022, we bought our first facility and kind of had the realization that I'm sure a bunch of y'all had that storage is pretty freaking awesome. And so we decided to sell our retirements, go all in into self-storage. So we've been, doing that the last couple of years. And the guys that did it were all engineers by training out of Georgia Tech. That's how we knew each other. We kind of went on non-traditional paths. My co-founder, he joined what became Robinhood, and I was up in Boston doing some finance stuff. But we found this facility, and we bought it in the tertiary market, which we loved, and we wanted to buy more, so we started buying more. We bought five or six over the next 2 years, but operating them at scale is really hard, especially as disparate facilities, not hub and spoke. And so we built a bunch of internal tools, this conversational AI being one of them, to help us with that. And pretty much every tool we launched just had dramatic impact into our business, both from a competitive set of competing with the person, down the street, like Jim said, but also just freeing us up to actually focus on the business and focus on what actually moves the needle. And we'll hear a little bit more about that here in a sec when Josh and Fraser kind of showcase the actual platform. But where we are right now on the storage side, we're buying about a facility every other week. We raised a fund. We have 10 under PSA right now, so we're growing very quickly in the tertiary markets across the U.S. And the only way you can scale that quickly is with these kinds of systems. And we were finally convinced by some of our investors to break out some of the software. And the conversational voice AI is the first thing that we're breaking out. So I think if you don't hear anything from this talk other than this stuff really works, and it can really help you because I running the storage feel it. And so you should just try to we have a demo number, call the number, try to break it. If you do break it, great, we'll improve it. And send us that feedback. If you can't, and would want to try it out, let us know, and we can get you bootstrapped with a couple facilities pretty quickly. So with
Gone
that,
ahead and thrown in the website and also the phone number into the chat. So you guys can jot that down or click on it and save that for later if you want to test it out yourself on your own facilities, to
And,
segue into what Tyler was saying.
and go ahead and
yep,
sprinkle that number out throughout the presentation so we're not having to scroll back up and trying to find it. So feel free to put it in there a few times.
Jim, can they
awesome.
paint it in there on the top of there or no?
Yeah, I think so.
Fraser, Josh, one of y'all
Okay,
working it.
yeah, I guess I don't know how to pin it.
I'll do it. Why don't you put it in there?
Okay,
And
thank
also,
you.
kind of also setting the stage right now, we're in 50 plus facilities. I think we onboarded 6 or 7 new operators this week. We have a pretty big backlog of people that want to join in our private beta right now. Every day we're welcoming people in to join. Um, Growing like crazy. We're shipping stuff pretty much every day, every other day at this point, and so it just continually gets better. And then we also have a bunch of other products in the roadmap that are top secret, but are coming in the next couple of months. So, if you join this, you'll see those before anyone else as well. So exciting times. And with that, maybe Josh, you want to pull up, we can showcase kind of what it looks like, look at some calls, and then look at some of the reporting and what actually like tactically impact it has on the business.
Love it. Yep. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Sweet. Awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks, Tyler. And that was an amazing introduction as well. I came, similar to Tyler, I was an engineer by training. Came from big tech previously, working on conversation, really AI within the customer service space, within a big platform, and joined the team and was able to implement kind of what I learned, but also to Tyler's point, we're moving really fast. We have really dedicated, strong engineering team here, and we work really close with our current customers of like, what is it that you're feeling pain in that we haven't already addressed? Let's prioritize that. Let's work together and build that out correctly. So right now, this is what you'll see in our call intelligence platform. And from this aspect, you'll have all the essential information, what you need, right? You have recordings sorted by the correct date, starting from the most recent. You're able to see a quick summary of what is happening, right? So you don't have to call into every single one. You're able to view a transcript as well. And then you can also play the call recording here also. And we also give you a category of what is necessary. The nice thing about the summary is that it becomes a little bit clear of like what's the ask from the customer, right? And whether or not there's something that's needed. And
And real quick, to jumping in, to set the stage, we have one person managing 15 facilities right now, and she lives in this UI all day, just answering tickets, calling people back, and the way that you do that is by centralizing all the information in one spot.
right, yeah. And we make it easy to see like what is the action on the user. So for example, here you'll see no action is required. So, you know, Rainy doesn't have to, dig too deep in the transcript to figure out what exactly is the action on their spot. And if there is one, we're able to escalate that capability, and users are then able to de-escalate it manually as well if they find it necessary. So we've also created some additional filters here. I know to Tyler's point, of course, with homegrown, we're acquiring a lot of facilities. It was every other week almost. Whenever there's an acquisition occurring, you want to be really dialed in into how are customers feeling during that transition. So you're able to do a custom range. So from a certain date, or if you want to do it from today, last 7 days. And if you want to, you can also filter for a particular facility if you have more than one. So you can dive deep into what needs your attention at a certain point in time. Additionally, here you can also look at the read, unread capability. And so since this is our demo number, you'll see that these are all just phone numbers. But however, within our currently we're integrated with your FMS. And so if this person, for example, is whatever that person's name is and their current tenant, you'll be able to see their information there as well. You won't have to, figure out who this person is. You're able to figure out effectively like what their tenant information is, and so in that case we're able to authenticate who they are based off that information, FMS information. On that same note, this is kind of the brains of the capability. So we have this knowledge base arena, right? And so the idea behind this is that this is how you're able to effectively train Ava, right, on your data and on what's most important to you. So each of our beta customers, we work closely in understanding what's like the key information here that a user might need to know or a customer might need to know when they call in. And so, for example, of that is this fallback number, right? In this scenario, it's I have an emergency, something is going wrong, and I want to talk to a real person, right? Ava's able to handle most situations, but we always want to give that option to keep the human in the loop, right? We don't want you guys running blind. And so that's where we have this fallback number capability here. And the nice thing here is that it gives that fallback number a warm transfer. And so whenever it transfers over to that fallback number, Ava actually tells the person on the other line, hey, this customer called in really frustrated. They're locked inside their unit or something like that. And so when by the time you're speaking with the customer, you already have all the context of what the customer is speaking about, right? So there's no wasted opportunity, no wasted time, and the customer doesn't have to repeat themselves, which obviously leads to frustration. Additionally, here, ticket escalations, we know that dealing with maintenance and potentially other vendors and coordinating that can be a bit of a hassle. And so, whenever there's a issue that comes in, we're able to create a ticket if that's replacing a gate, doing some maintenance, something like that from what someone reported. We automatically send an email, create a ticket, and send that email to whatever email you position here. And of course, if you want to CC a recipient for your potential facility manager and make sure they're on top of the task, you will add your CC recipient. And so we use this a lot in order to manage our tickets internally. We know that can be a hassle for a lot of folks. And so make sure that folks are aware of who does what when. This really helps us out there.
And
And
a few quick points on this too, if you can go back to the facility information, Josh. So ticket escalation, originally, right, we built this for us because we needed to scale quicker and run our portfolio. And so we just had one ticket escalation. But then as we're working with larger and larger operators, there are district managers that needed to be CC'd, there are facility managers, on-site people, et cetera, et cetera. And so, now it works for really any size, right? You can have all of our facilities are unmanned, but it works just as well for manned facilities if you want your person on site to just have to focus on the really high prio items.
all right, exactly. And here, two more things to call out here is our static booking link and payment link as well. Ava can send outbound texts from the exact same number that you have from this agent bound number as well. So say if I call in, and I've done this when I've rented a storage unit, I call in, I'm like, hey, I'm on my phone. Can you just send me the link of the text? I don't feel like going through your website, digging through it. And I'm able to get that text message and just log in and make a payment on my own time. This FAQ aspect here, as operators ourselves, we have a good idea of what people call in and ask for, right? So this is a consolidation of, I don't know, 50 or so questions where these are the most asked questions when people call in. And so effectively, you're able to edit this at any point in time. And within the next call, Ava picks up that updated answer. And so when we first bootstrap folks for our private beta, effectively users will get the answers, add them up here. But if, for example, something changes of, you might change the late fee. Instead of $20, it might be $30. All you have to do is, change this here and it updates in real time. And within that next call, Ava is able to pick up that updated answer. And the nice thing here is you don't have to put it in the customer service voice. Ava knows how to say it politely, empathetically, in a customer service way. You can literally just put it bluntly here. For example, when is rent due? We put it first of the month. That's all we put. And Ava's able to say a full sentence that makes the customer feel invited and that they're getting the proper, care that they deserve. So that's really the knowledge base capability. And we're constantly looking at this to make sure this covers all of the latest questions. We always go through our calls, especially with new customers onboarding, and make sure like, hey, is there something that we're missing or something that we can work with our customers to make sure that this is truly a comprehensive list. And so far, that's been held true.
And a couple other items as well. So this is a non-deterministic system, meaning that if you call and you ask a question slightly different than what we have on here, Ava doesn't just read out your answer. It actually tailors the answer to whatever makes sense in the context of the question. And so I know that there's a bunch of AI floating around, but ours is actually non-deterministic, meaning it takes into context of the question and actually looks into the context of the question and the answer. I also saw that, Edward, you asked a question. I wanted to talk about that real quick. So we actually, when creating all of this, we said under no circumstances are we sharing this with anyone because this was our secret sauce to grow. And because we wanted to build a really big storage company, specifically in the more rural markets. And, this is what we felt like was necessarily to do it. We had enough people, though. Well, two things happened. One, we had enough people say, this is a really big opportunity and it can really help me. And, we like helping people. And then two, the market's so big that I think everyone having this ability to manage effectively in more rural markets or more efficiently in the larger markets helps everyone because more capital flows into the market. There are more managers, more people can do more with less. And so, rising tide lifts all boats, as it were. And so we came to the conclusion that it's actually better for everyone to have all of these tools, including us. So that's kind of how this came to be and why we're here talking about software instead of storage.
And again, love seeing the back end, all that kind of stuff. But I would love to hear it in action if you have some recordings or things like that to kind of see what it's actually like from the user experience.
I love that you said that. Yeah, I
Do it.
will. Let me know once you guys can see this, and then I'm going to play.
This call may be recorded. How can I help you today?
Hi, Ava. I was hoping that you could remind me a few things. Where are you guys located? I'm on Moreland Drive right now.
We're on Moreland Drive in Kingsport, Tennessee. 948 Moreland Drive, zip code 37664. We share a lot with Plant Boy Landscape and Garden Center right near Pond Springs Road, with gated entrances on both Moreland and Pond Springs Road. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Yeah, can you remind me, is there any additional fees required upon move-in?
Yes. There's a one-time administrative processing fee of $25 when you move in. Is there anything else you'd like to know?
Yeah, last question. What security features do you have on your units?
We have security cameras, perimeter fencing, gated entry, and exterior lights throughout the facility.
And again, it looks like it went away. Again, the best way to test it is just calling it and trying to break it. Because two things. One, customers, when they call, they don't try to break it, but it's good for just owners to have the peace of mind that when you try to break it, it won't break. But there's been several times where I'm on site and I hear someone talking to Ava, and that person 100% thinks it's a real person that they're talking to, and they'll apologize to it. And I mean, Fraser knows that too. He sees it all the time in his transcripts.
I will say, I've more recently gotten over probably the past week, had a couple of people that go, because I'll take the calls from my own personal facilities. I own and operate 7 storage facilities myself, and I currently right now took back on the calls, like I think I mentioned before here, over the past months in combining and working parallel with Ava the AI. And I've had people get on the call with me after it gets
You have
transferred,
no idea
and
how
they
bad
go,
my hip has been hurting the last 2 weeks.
I'm gonna mute everybody now,
Wow.
guys.
Okay, everything's fine.
Gotcha. I will share a few more.
and the person goes, "Hey, so are you a real person?" When I'm answering the phone, which speaks to the volumes of that Ava just sounds so natural and like a human, where people have to second guess humans as well. So
Real
I
quick,
really
before we
appreciated
go,
using
real
it.
quick before we go too far into this, because I keep seeing it come up in the chat too. Just because people are like, "Is this? Can I use this at my sites?" kind of thing. People are asking about what kind of software that it's compatible with.
Yeah, totally. So
Answer to that is yes.
yeah, exactly. So right now, I see Matt, you even called out Cubby directly. Yes, we do integrate with Cubby. We have customers currently on Cubby that we do integrate with right now that are actively using Ava. We integrate with pretty much all the major FMSs. So you have Tenant, SiteLink as well that we all leverage, and then we have a few more in the pipeline that we'll be kind of working with as well.
Okay, cool. Didn't want to sidetrack you there, but I see it kept coming up. So, and no, Fraser, because again, I want to hear from you as well, because again, you kind of as an owner perspective, what are you getting out of it?
If you guys like the demo calls, I can share my screen. I can share a couple demo calls that'll give you some other examples of the different things that the AI is capable of. So
Please.
let me click here real quick.
And then Tyler and Josh, I'll let you guys go in the chat for some people who are asking about specific softwares. You can reply to that.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so here we go. So this would be an example call right here of someone, and I'll pull up the transcription so you can see the summary as well at the same
You've
time.
reached Titan Self Storage Aberdeen. This is Ava. This call may be recorded. How can I help you today?
I need my gate code number.
Give me a moment. Your gate code is 76293 pound.
Okay, wait, just a sec. Let me write that down.
No problem. Take your time. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, 76239.
Almost.
I'm ready.
Your gate code is 76293 pound.
93 pound. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You'll see the rest of the transcription. You'll notice that the call is still going, and the AI gives control to the human, the customer, to end the call in most instances, unless it's a spam call, that sort of thing. So that's been really helpful. So they really get to stay on, answer it, ask any more questions that they want to. That right there, that gives you a good idea of gate codes is just one of those common questions. So that is a rare, pretty much never escalation. Tenants can just get their gate code 24/7 now. Plenty of tenants forget it after hours, and they should be able to have that access. I'll give you one more example of a call. Here's one where actually, and this is yesterday, and as you can tell, these are real live customers, everything. So, and this person, I had called them to collect money. They were a few months behind, and so that's the preface to this call here.
Hi. You've reached Titan Self Storage Centralia Reynolds. This is Ava. This call may be recorded. How can I help you today?
Hi, my name is Mitchell Rowland, and I thought I lost my storage a while ago, but I guess not. So, can I still make a payment to be able to get it back, or how much is it? Because it's been a few months.
Thanks for sharing that, Mitchell. I totally understand. I can text you a secure payment link. Would you like me to send that?
I would rather have a phone call back.
Thank you for calling. Please hold while I connect you with someone who can better assist you.
The nice thing about this call here is they actually called at 8:31 last night. So I stopped taking calls at 6:30. So it's after hours. But in any normal after hours phone call would have just gotten, rang, or in what I used to do, I just have to go straight to voicemail. There's no point in having it ring, we're after hours. And that's probably the experience of a lot of customers with self-storage operators. And so we are leveraging the after hours. It can send pay links. Like that person could have gotten a pay link logged into their online account and paid it right then and there. They just want to talk to somebody, especially, and that makes sense too with them being so delinquent. They go, hold on a sec, something seems off. I thought my unit was gone. So they want to have a little more of an escalation there to a human, and that's where we can jump in and dive in there. But they got that validation. They knew that they had talked to somebody after hours. And so they know they're going to be taken care of. They know they're, in the queue, and they'll get a call back from us as well. So there's multiple, I've got hundreds and hundreds of phone calls, examples of what's happening that's happened over the past months. Been massively helpful there. It's one of the things I was searching for months and had diving into it. And when I connected with Patchwork Labs almost from the beginning of when they came out with this product, jumped on and started working with them right away on it and implementing in my facilities like ASAP, because I could see the huge benefit and everything there.
Yeah.
And a couple, I know there's a bunch of questions on, can you see recordings and just in general reporting? So Josh, do you want to pull up the reporting just to get out of that way, and then we can listen to more calls. Also, one other thing, can it forward to a call center? Absolutely. We can forward to whoever, and you can customize it based on, at the facility level. And so if you have 8 facilities and you want some to forward one way and some to forward one way, you can totally do that.
And goes back to the original of the dashboard where you guys saw the phone number that you want it to forward on to. So you can just have it forward onto the manager. The AI can be the upfront there. It could be just after hours. It can be however you want to set up.
Exactly.
So I can quickly play this recording right now. This shows a cool sales example within our demo environment.
Be today.
I'm renting a unit.
I can definitely help with that. What are you looking to store in your unit?
Yeah, I'm looking for a price range for a unit.
Absolutely. I can give you a quick overview of our unit prices. Could you tell me roughly what you plan to store? That way I'll recommend the best option and value for your needs.
A couple of dog crates. They will be empty, but couches too.
Thanks for sharing that. For couches and a couple of dog crates, the 5x10 enclosed unit is $89 per month, or for more space, the 10x10 is $110 per month. Both have the first month half off. Would one of these sizes work for you?
They're really, really, really big dog crates. Like Clifford the big red dog.
I do want to preface this by saying that some people do call in and ask some ridiculous, pretty funny things.
Got it. If your dog crates are extra large, like Clifford the big red dog size plus couches, you'll likely need more space. Based on that, I'd recommend our 10x15 enclosed unit for $140 per month with the first month half off. Would this size work for what you plan to store?
Yes. Am I able to store dogs?
I totally understand wanting a safe spot for your pets, but storage units are just for items. No live animals allowed, including dogs. I can help you reserve space for your crates and furniture. Would you like to move forward with reserving the 10x15 unit?
Staying there with me. Can we live in there?
I understand you're curious, but storage units are for storing belongings only. Living or staying in them isn't permitted. Units don't have amenities like water or ventilation for living. I'm happy to help reserve space for your furniture and crates, though. Would you like to book the 10x15 unit for your items?
So Ava does a pretty good job of steering them right in the correct direction of what a storage unit is meant to be, even when you get some ridiculous questions and comments about that as well. I do want to showcase one more. This has been a pretty prevalent example of issues that we've seen with an actual within like our actual facilities of spam calls. And so right now, spam calls tend to take up a decent amount of time, I believe, with just people calling in. So we'll play that. Actually, not that one.
Yeah, I swear spam calls are like 40% of our calls now. Drives me nuts.
Yeah.
We were super surprised at the spam call volume and just the volume in general. You'll see some of the reporting in a second of which is pretty clean, but it's pretty interesting, some of the analytics.
Because you also, I'm not to jump ahead of you, but I think you have like the breakout too of like what they're calling about, spam
Yeah,
calls.
exactly. So that's coming up next.
Cool. That's awesome. Go ahead.
Hi.
We are calling you
You've
because
reached
your business is not verified on Google Voice Search. Customers cannot find your business.
I'm sure you guys have heard that a million times in your past life, like just Google coming in or these random calls coming in. So I'll spare you guys of that spiel of the robocaller, and I'll skip a little bit ahead of what Ava says.
for letting us know. We're all set on the Google business listing side, but I appreciate your call. Have a great day.
And so the reason why we do that is that we know that can be concerns where some people might call in and may not actually be a spam call. It may actually sound like a spam call, but it may not be that. So we let Ava kind of run through and make sure it effectively screens the calls correctly first before classifying as a spam call and giving that kind of response. And I have one last one.
Now just make something where it calls them back and spams them back. Just do that. And I'll sign up.
Yeah. It's not this one. Sorry, guys.
Tell me a joke.
Sure thing. Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field. Would you like help with anything else?
So Ava does also have a personality as well, is what I want to call out.
Well, that's great.
Should we jump to the reporting?
Yes, exactly. So my understanding when I first joined and started learning about the storage industry is that it's quite antiquated. It is for a long time, people in the storage industry have been running blind without the data that they deserve to effectively run their business and get insights into how progress is being made. What is their current call center volume look like? What are people calling in about, and why is that important? So we kind of made it a mission of ours to give that insight back to them. And I think being engineers by training, we all kind of have that knack for trying to understand why and get down into the numbers to really kind of prove out any theories or hypotheses that we may have anecdotally. And so from here, you'll be able to check out exactly on day by day basis what are the calls that are coming in. And so what that last or two calls previously was a spam call that I called out. Right now, we can see here like, hey, on October 3rd, we had over 20 spam calls. And we even have a larger tile right here that calls out the spam calls that are coming in as well. This is insights that we never had previously before building this dashboard, and allows us to kind of really dig deep and understand what are people calling in about as well, and how many calls has Ava taken, and how much time has Ava saved us as well. And so we kind of break it down in terms of payment, rentals, support, spam, and potentially other customer service questions. And within that, we drill down into further call categories of, of the customer support questions. What do people want to know, right? Is it about moving in, moving out, account management, gate codes, complaining? And you can even look at, on average, how long are those calls taking you on a per call basis. Additionally, you're able to kind of check it out on a by site basis as well. So as Tyler mentioned, we're expanding rapidly, and so we're adding a new row to each of these each week. So it's cool to see how certain sites might have different trends than other sites as well, and for us to kind of drill deep into that. So for example, here, if I'm curious about the support calls at Solid Rock, I could actually click to see these calls, and I could drill down and understand, okay, what are people calling in about when? And I have pretty much all the metadata in the back end for me to understand what is the call summary, the success evaluation, and so on and so forth. And so for us, we work really closely with our current customers to understand like what are the additional insights they want to see, right? So outside of this, we take a look at looking at understanding what are the most impactful insights for you. We're not just making metrics just to make metrics. And so we work pretty closely on understanding what are the tiles that are necessary. And so for now, these have been pretty sufficient for us. and even looking at the business hours breakdown too. So I think Fraser and Tyler both kind of alluded to that we're 24/7 now, right? And now we have the data to kind of showcase that and showcase like, damn, how many people are actually calling after hours that previously would be kind of left in the dust and now are being answered by Ava. So pretty amazing, powerful insights.
And this is all live data on our 15 facility portfolio. And if you go back to the call volume tab, and also once you sign up, everyone has this data in our in our beta, and when we go more broadly public with this, so join if you want to see some analytics, even if you don't want to use the voice AI. But you can see too, we bought Spout Spring a couple weeks ago. We bought Solid Rock, which is portfolio 5, like 2 months ago. And you can kind of see the trend of when we bought it and the call volume. And so I know a bunch of y'all probably are in lease up or are buying or what have you. But once you have this data along with some of the other data that we pull, given how good our team is with data, as a little glimpse into the future, we're going to be able to do some pretty cool things, I think. So stay tuned for more as well.
And Josh, a question that had come up in the chat is how long does the onboarding process take? And what does it look like if you can give like a 30-second synopsis of that?
Yeah, it's super simple. We almost act as your IT arm in terms of getting you guys set up, and we kind of walk you guys through the process. So we will effectively understand what is your current FMS. We already have integrations with most major FMSs. We'll just pull that information in order to pull your facility information. We'll grant you guys a phone number and get you guys a login. And that's pretty much it. Shouldn't take any longer than a day or two. And then it comes down to when you guys want to start, taking calls. And then from that end, it will just be forwarding over whatever existing phone number you have to Ava's phone number that we issue you. Or to make it even simpler, you can showcase the number we give you for Ava to your customers. So if that's whichever is easier, we're pretty agnostic to either option.
To that too, on the onboarding, something that is going pending for live next week too is self onboarding. So what Josh is talking about is connecting directly into your API. But for the self onboarding piece, it will be on the website next week. And so you could just onboard yourself if you want to add your facilities in there. It wouldn't be initially connected to the API just because, as most of you know, working with tech companies, you got to connect that there. But you could connect Ava into your system right away and test it out on a facility and do calls right away with it. So that will be there, the self onboarding, just like you would do any other tech adding there. You can do that like that.
And one thing I didn't touch on too is a bit on our team too. So Josh came to us from Microsoft's AI group. We have, I think 6 engineers now working on it. My background is software private equity, and then I jumped into real estate. I actually briefly worked at a hard money lender after, and then jumped into storage back in April of 2022, where we bought our first facility. Chase, my co-founder, he led the machine learning and AI data science team / their fraud strategy / risk for a big credit card startup called X1 that eventually became Robinhood's credit card. And so he was kind of instrumental in building out their what became their banking platform. And then we have some really other impressive folks working with us, part-time, shall we say. So our team, we're really excited about our team and kind of what we're going to do over the next couple of weeks / months. Josh, anything else to add to this reporting? If not, perhaps we just take some more questions.
Yeah, that was pretty much everything I wanted to showcase. Happy to take some questions. I know there's a lot of stuff on the chat.
Yeah, that'd be great. Hey, go ahead and you can stop sharing your screen. We'll just kind of go back to gallery mode here, and we'll just take some questions.
Great. Fraser, anything else to add too?
No, I think questions are good. I think it I showed some calls that help give some good examples. A question that was in there is handle taking payment over the phone. So currently, right now, as you had seen, like somebody could have gotten a pay link, which would have been a direct link to the website, and I've seen good initial success with that, where I've had tenants, and I was trying to find the call. There's so many of them in there. A tenant had called in the other day, asked for the pay link, or asked to make a payment, and AI sent a payment link, which is the website link. They logged in, made their payment, and then they set up auto pay. And as I'm reviewing stuff, that I see that, and that was all without me lifting a finger and did all of that. So then the second part to that too, Matt, your question, handling taking payment on the phone is yes. The next step next week, it will have a pay link that will go live, a direct pay link for just they click on it and it'll show the amount due, and they can put in their credit card information right there. And then it will do voice pay as well here too. So someone can take, say, their credit card over the phone, and it'll act as that middle man there, and is all PCI compliant. So someone can just say their card number and everything over the phone like they're talking to a regular human, you and I, and make their payment that way as well.
And all of that's actually already built. There's one of the pros of having a guy that led a gigantic fraud strategy team at a major credit card is we want to make sure that it's working really, really well. And so we're running an insane amount of tests before we launch in the wild, but it's working. We just need to launch it.
I'll jump in there too. I see another question from Elijah. So you asked, how does the agent handle multiple calls at the same time? Meaning, if 5 people call into the same facility at the same time, is there a cap on how many calls it has resources allocated to at one time? Essentially, the answer to that is unlimited. So the AI, and I've had it happen before too, where it threw me off for a second, because one person would call in, but they might be on the phone longer with Ava, and then the other person called in before, and they each had a transfer to human escalation. And I saw this in the voice, and it didn't line up, and I realized, oh, the calls were happening at the same time, one had called in, one after another. So that's the other beauty of it too, is that Ava can act like 100 agents at once. It doesn't matter how many phone calls are coming in, it can simultaneously answer all of those, because it's tech, it's not humans. And that's how also leads to 100% of my phone calls are always taken 24/7.
And Sani, to answer your question, yep, everyone has transcripts in our UI. You can see it, immediately after the call ends.
Thank you.
Your question there on agent completing rental reservation of units over the phone through the integration. So yes, it's not there 100% there. Right now, it'll send out a rental link. So whatever like landing page to rent out your units and stuff, that's the link that'll get sent out that way. Otherwise, it'll escalate to the human for rental processes, but that is coming soon too. That is in the pipeline, probably over the next few weeks, that will go live, to where it'll from start to finish rent out the entire unit, take payment, have them send over the link to have them sign the lease, and then they can move in. So yeah, they'll be able to move in 100% all straight through the AI as well.
And the reason we did it that way is because we have a really good call support staff that can close people really well. And so, like, when we were building this for us, we didn't necessarily need to build that part immediately. And so now enough people have asked us for that, we, again, similar to the other stuff, we have it. We just are very rigorously testing it before we release it. But yeah, it's coming.
I want to gloss over. I see it popped up in chat. Have you guys landed on a pricing structure or anything yet?
Yeah, so our first month will be a free beta, and I'm sure Jim, you know this, when we were first coming out with Ava, we didn't really know how to price it, because we just kind of built it for ourselves, and we're like, okay, are we gonna expose this to the world? So that was the thing that didn't even cross our mind, because we are like, oh, this is our secret sauce. So we had to spend some time to work through the pricing, and our whole thing is that we want to make sure that we are delivering value. So the first month private beta will be completely free. So we want to make sure that you guys see the value, and it'll be, we're confident you guys will see the value and have check-ins as well. We've landed on after the beta, and if folks want to move forward, It will be, of course, integrated with your FMS, and we've landed on 50 cents per unit across any number of facilities. So say if you have one facility you want to do it for, but not the other, of course, we're not going to charge you for the facility that won't be using it, only for the facilities that will leverage Ava.
And the idea of this is it's going to be significantly cheaper than your call center and a better experience. When we're thinking about pricing, it's like, what value do you deliver for the customer, right? Because we didn't want to build something for ourselves that delivered a worse experience than a human could do. And our humans, though, were just getting overwhelmed, and so calls weren't being answered immediately and things like that. So we built this, to solve a bunch of those pain points. And so we think that's for the ability of the AI, we think that's super fair across the board.
That's great. Again, I just want to touch on, again, I like the fact that it's your owners first. And then you kind of had to build this to essentially kind of scratch your own itch and then fill that need that you needed in your own portfolio. So I like kind of coming from that angle of not building the service first, that you're your owners first and then build this for your own portfolio. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and more stuff coming soon as well.
I know you keep alluding to this secret stuff. We'll have you back and you can announce the secret stuff later on, I guess. Fine.
Say that I've seen some inklings into it and I'm privy to see some stuff, but have not been able to fully use it. And I'm excited for the different things that will come incongruent and align with conversational AI is just the beginning with Patchwork Labs. So I'm excited to see a little behind the curtains. And it's exciting as an operator, someone that owns facilities, or even if you're working in a third party capacity, running facilities, third party management, whatever, the tools would be very effective and helpful.
And that's why we're doing it, guys. I mean, this is just a tool. I mean, just get ready. I mean, for the AI stuff and the agents that are coming out, it's just going to be one thing after another, whether it's Patchwork Labs or some other service, things like that. This is just going to be an onslaught. So that's why I wanted to have this too, because there's going to be so much noise, for lack of a better word, out there of just like, check this out, check this out. This is awesome. I want to provide an opportunity for have these kind of things to come on so you can ask your questions, you can see the demos, you can talk to the people that are making this kind of stuff. So hopefully you're getting value out of this because we'll keep this coming because it's going to be ever evolving. I mean, you guys have mentioned this a few times. Like, oh, wait till next week. That's coming in 2 weeks. This stuff is just happening so quickly that anyway, that's why we're doing this. So hopefully you get some value out of it. And just one more quick thing, put it in chat if you don't mind, because again, we are doing to put on my soapbox for a second, we're doing the AI storage summit here very quickly in December. Still putting that together. So let me know with the AI stuff. What do you want to see? And obviously we'll do more of these kind of AI demos. If you want to see videos, you want to see more of the voice stuff, let me know because you're the ones that are helping me put this event together. So I want to make sure you get the most value out of it, that what you want to see in here, we'll bring. So we got like 10 minutes. I want to be mindful of everyone's time. 10 minutes left. Got any questions? Now's your time. Shoot.
I jump in there and answer. Oh, go ahead, Tyler.
One quick thing too, I would just encourage everyone to call the number and play around with it. And if you like what you see, hop on. We'll give you a month free. Because we really think that we can communicate some value. So
yeah, I can't pin for that reason. So go ahead and put that in chat again. So it's in chat.
Fraser, do you have the number?
Yeah, I can put the number up again. Or Josh, if you want it, can you type in the number? And then Josh also shared if you want to dive in further with the demo and get more specific into your facility and how we'd connect you with your API and all of that. Josh link there. Josh is the one that will go through demos and everything, kind of like what he was shown before. So yeah, if you can put that there. Jumping back in the chat a little bit.
A couple questions as well. Obviously this is voice and all that. Do you do all the the chat bots on the websites as well?
So the chat bot is frankly the easiest part of this whole thing. The hard part is the non-deterministic system that we built. And so if I was a betting man, I would be willing to bet that we would have that very shortly.
And when Tyler says non-deterministic, because I have to interpret here too, because I always don't always know their techie words, but maybe you understand it. But basically, a lot of chatbots out there are very static. They will just answer your questions straightforward, and it's not very conversational. So if there was a chatbot that was coming out with Patchwork Labs, it would be conversational, just like you were talking to Ava. You would converse through text through a human. Right? Am I saying that right when you say non-deterministic?
No, and
Okay.
that's honestly, that's the way it should be, and not a just if you say this, then this is your answer.
Yeah.
Have a conversation. That's kind of the point of the conversational AI, and it's in the name. So that's what everything's moving
I think
towards, guys. So
Yeah, I think for me as a human, having chatbots on different websites, like when I was trying to book a ski trip or something like that, it was definitely helpful, especially when that company wasn't providing a phone number. And so it gave me the ability to talk. But what's even more helpful is in a chatbot is if there was like a live representative. And so I'm actually able to have the conversation so I can go into my nuanced questions and whatnot, right? So then to automate that and give a hyper experience that's 24/7 without having a staff leads it to the conversational chatbot, right? So it's more than a chatbot. It's even don't even know if we call that. It's more of like a concierge text, right? Which kind of leads me to the question there with Martin. You asked in there, is the service to work 100% on itself? And I would say that the conversational AI, as much as like that would be great, that would be like if they knew everything. I think the idea is to be 95%. And when you have it going to a human or whatever, would be a more concierge experience. And so if you think of what a concierge does and how they handle everything for you and they're there to hold your hand and take care of you as a person, as a customer, that's the idea with all of our storage tenants. We see them as our clients, customers, and it becomes a much more human connected experience. Let the AI handle the payments and the gate codes and the things like that that just don't need to have a conversation on. But let me be here for you if you had a death in the family here, and let's bring it more into a concierge type experience. No more just robotic as humans or robotic as robots. Let's be as helpful and concierge. And so really that's what Patchwork Labs is leveraging here is the ability for us to be even more connected on a human ability. When they say they have one person managing all those properties, that's kind of the idea. How many facilities can one concierge be taken care of? And so every time that Nancy calls in, I know exactly Nancy's situation because it's detailed, right? So we get really intimate and personal and really connected to really helping our customers. And we take it to an even level, higher level of a customer experience. That's where this is really is all going. This isn't another, hey, how do we call center, blah, blah, blah. That word doesn't exist here. It's the concierge experience. Hopefully that
Yep.
answered your question. That's my long-winded answer to you, Martin. I'm pretty passionate about my thoughts and how my operations are going. And so I'm utilizing the tools to create experience with all of my customers, all of them, to feel that it's very personal. And that from a personal experience of the different third parties and different things that I've used with my operations, how it can be lots of things can be lost in translation, frustrated customers, they're repeating themselves 100 times. There's no need for that. And we can solve that and bring it together. So they say it once and they're always heard.
And I know I saw this too in the chat. There's going to be a lot of these things coming, I think, in the next year. So the question is like, how do you pick a good conversational voice AI? And the answer is to test it rigorously. It's going to become easier and easier to create vaporware and fake it, but the integration layer across all of this is actually like a pretty difficult tech problem. And so that's one of the reasons why we're giving it away for free for the first month is, whether it's, one service or another, I would just try all of them and see which one works the best. We, for our own portfolio of 15, we only like building things that don't already exist, because if they already exist, then we'll just use it, which is why we didn't build access control, why we didn't build an FMS, because we believe that, those things are already out in the wild and work really well. But we saw this hole and we didn't see anyone else doing it. So we decided to do it ourselves.
well, that's great, guys. Again, go ahead and put your contact info in chat. Go into this or tell us as well, so people are listening to this, how they can reach out to you.
Then as you're talking about that too, I saw another guy, or hopefully, yeah, Jacob, you're asking about outbound calls with agents, or is it focused only on inbound? So outbound is coming as well, where the conversational AI will do outbound calls for you. It could be collection calls. It may be it's following up with leads. There is a plethora of things that the conversational AI on outbound can do, as well as maybe you saw on the different screen shares there too, outbound like messaging and texting and everything. So yes, and the answer is yes on most questions that you guys are answering. It is yes. It's just a matter of that feature, when that feature will come out, and it's soon.
Perfect. All right, we got 2 more minutes here, so I'm gonna take the floor back. But thank you guys for taking the time to doing this. This is great. Again, we're here learning, guys. I mean, this is new frontiers. These guys are definitely, blazing the trail for this. That's why I wanted to have you on here to see how owners are using this, the actual services. We'll have other vendors and stuff coming on as well, because you gotta be open to this, because this stuff is coming fast. It's coming quick. People keep saying, "Oh, AI is the future." Like, that's BS. It's here. It's here now. So that's why we're doing this. Let me share my screen for 2 seconds.
Have a new message from 24,054.
I don't know what that is. Not me. Again, so we're talking about AI stuff. Go to AIStorageSummit.com. I kind of alluded to it a few times here. We're putting this together. Make sure you register for it. You get notified when all that stuff's coming. It's coming quick. So countdown, 56 days. I've talked about this before, but right after this meeting, I jump on to, it's called the AI Salon. So we're going to keep the AI theme. You want to jump on with this? It's me, my buddy Kyle. We get on, we just kind of geek out about AI stuff. Today we're going to be talking about Sora, I believe. I don't know if any of you have seen this, but here, I'll show you some of the videos I quickly made.
In a world where missed calls mean missed rentals, one meetup dares to change everything.
Kind of fun. What else we got here?
Self-storage manager action figure.
With padlock powers.
He guards the goods and keeps them safe.
Inventory check complete.
Collect the whole crew. Repo Ron, property lawyer Lisa, and mover Mike, each sold separately. New self-storage manager action.
Do one more. Just kind of fun stuff, but we're going to be talking about how to make these videos.
Storage Meetup! Storage Meetup! Storage Meetup!
So it's fun. But anyway, we're going to be doing this on the AI Salon. I put the link in chat. So you can click on that, open it up. We'll be there like 1 minute right after this. Do me a favor, put on your cameras. We gotta do our selfie here. So humor me, we'll do it here in count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Smile. All right, one more. So we got enough people on here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Cool. We're set. All right. Thank you guys. This is great. We'll do it again here next Friday. I think next Friday is going to be more of a anything goes. It's going to be kind of everybody chatting, see what we're up to. We'll go from there. But I will see you guys if you're up for it, for another hour of AI nerdiness. I'll see you at the AI Salon. So cool.
Thanks. Hey Jim, we topped out at 109.
Cool. It's a good thing I changed my Zoom plan. So all right. Thanks guys. Have a great weekend. See you next week. Take care.
Bye everyone.
Yeah.
Take it easy.